This week, I have Ivan Gilreath, President and CEO of the Boys and Girls Club here in the Valley. Welcome to the Scottsdale Vibes podcast. I'm your host, Alicia Haygood. I cannot believe we're in mid-January already. I'm sitting here with my favorite State Farm agent, Jeremy Mueller. Welcome back to the table because you and I haven't had a chance to get together recently either.
I know. I'd love having a break in my schedule to come down here. Love it.
That's awesome. So tell me really quick, how are you doing? What's going on? We are about to be, I love this new slogan that Experience Scottsdale came up with, Scottsdale Super Season.
Okay.
And it's officially right?
Yeah.
What a great hashtag to use. We have Barrett Jackson that's going on this week. And then we have the Waste Management Open, which is awesome. I've already been out there kind of playing around. Won't tell anybody. And then we have, of course, the Super Bowl coming up, Arabian Horse Show and stuff like that. How are you? Are you ready? Are you ready for the city to influx with everybody?
Super excited. Love it. A lot of stuff going on. Barrett Jackson. I mean, I might.
You got a car in mind?
No. I have the son that goes to Notre Dame, so I like cutting through the Barrett Jackson parking lot, but I can't do that this week.
Right. There's nothing.
So, but no, a lot of people in town, a lot of fun.
Do you go to the car show at all?
I do.
Yeah.
I meet some guys out there a couple days, and
that's fun for someone who my kids go out and enjoy it. I tell people you don't have to be a car aficionado to go out there and appreciate the event that they put on.
No, it's a really fun event. I love everyone's in such a good mood there too.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of fun.
I totally agree. The Open, you always go big with the Open. You're from here in Scottsdale, Jeremy, so you've experienced some amazing hole-in-ones at the 16th hole. You've got to do it all. This year's kind of different. You have experienced the Super Bowl and the Open together. So I haven't. What are we going to expect?
Pandemonium. Just, it is what it is. That Monday. What's interesting is where we live, you'll see all the jets fly out right after the Super Bowl.
It's great.
I mean, that night, it's just nonstop. So
be prepared.
Be prepared. And then Monday, it just kind of dies down a little bit, which is we'll be ready for it by then.
I know it's the restful Monday. Everyone takes a day off. We're going to be at peace, and it's not. Yeah, I love it.
Hungover Monday. The whole town's going to be hungover on Monday.
Did you know that the biggest day for people to call into work is the Monday after Super Bowl?
I did know that.
Yeah.
Yes. Yep.
So is this a warning to all your employees? Hey, I have you on the radar. I know what's going on.
Yeah, I don't buy that at all. I mean, the problem with them, I'll go off on a tangent here. 20s and 30s now are different than 20s and 30s.
When we grew up?
When we grew up, yeah. Because they have Sunday Fun Day now.
Yeah, that's true.
That wasn't a thing.
That's
Day
very
clubs
true.
were not a thing. So they would go out, you'd go out Saturday night, but you'd recover on Sunday, be fine by Monday. Now they just go hard all weekend. It's crazy.
That's really true. I've never thought about that. We're the same age. So I didn't have Sunday Fun Days until an adult either.
Nope. It's
interesting. All right. Now I'm catching on to that.
You're not missing anything.
I would agree with you. Well, Jeremy, we are about to have the president and CEO of the Boys and Girls Club here in Scottsdale. I had the honor of going to tour a couple of the facilities here. We have one up here in North Scottsdale by where you and live. It's a really great place for kids to go. They transport people from their schools to there, the extracurricular activities. They even have camps and stuff like that. You have 2 kids. What does it mean to you to have a safe place for kids? And really, I don't know about you, but my kids have to be entertained. So if they're not somewhere that's entertaining them and using their brain, they are bored, and that's the only word I hear out of their mouth.
The Greyhawk branch, I'm sure you're there.
Mm-hmm.
And I forget what it's
called. The
Thunderbird branch.
Yes.
Yeah, of course, can't forget Thunderbird.
Yeah.
Not on this program. But my kids don't go. However, I have team members and who have kids that go to Greyhawk, they get picked up, and gosh, that branch is a lifesaver for us. So we do a lot of stuff with them. We'll sponsor a family at Christmas time, stuff like that.
I love that.
I love what they do. And I've seen girls, my team members' girls, grow up through that program there, and they do just a fantastic job.
I had the privilege of interviewing, they give out scholarships and stuff like that to some of their students, and I had the privilege of interviewing their college recipient from 2 years ago. Jeremy, I mean, I don't know about you, but I am so thrilled when I see these kids and their momentum and what they're going to do in life. And she was just going to be an amazing person to come back here to Scottsdale and give back as all she wants to. And she said it was Boys and Girls Club, that she was there from a young child and up until she graduated high school, and they helped her become the woman that she is today. And I think that says a lot about how much your community influences who you are and stuff like that.
Totally. No, I'm a product of the Osborne branch.
Oh, nice.
So, yeah.
Did you enjoy it growing up?
Loved it. Yeah, no, it was different, different kids, a feeder school, and I played basketball there. I
Yeah.
loved it.
Man, some of the places I went, they had like a STEM, they had a 3D printer, the STEM rooms that they have. I'm jealous. Like, I kind of want to go volunteer to play with the toys there.
Right. I mean, when I went there, I think it was like one computer that was as big as a room.
And now right, as big as their, but now they have like computer labs and stuff like
Right.
that for these kids. It's amazing with the opportunities that the Boys and Girls Club do. So I'm excited to have them. Well, I will let you get back to work. I know it's super busy for you right now.
Super busy. A lot of stuff going on. Watch out. A lot of accidents going on right now.
Okay, thank you. You know what? I've keep telling people this because you warned us about this about a month or so ago, Jeremy. Be careful because the body shops are backed up, the rental cars are backed up. You're not going to have an easy time getting this fixed.
We have to remind it's a claims process, and now more than ever, because it's very frustrating along from my standpoint and especially from the customers right now. So be careful.
All right. Go slow or you won't get to your destination or get home, and then it's just a bigger headache for everyone involved. All right, stay tuned. We'll take a short break. When we come back, we'll have the Boys and Girls Club at the table. Jeremy, have a wonderful week, and thank you as always
so much.
for joining us.
Thank you, Scottsdale Vibes.
We've heard commercials for those other insurance agents, but when it comes to someone who knows Scottsdale and the insurance business, there's only one person you can trust with your stuff, and that's Jeremy Mueller of State Farm Insurance. Jeremy and his team of agents have been helping Scottsdale for over 20 years. From big purchases to rentals, there is nothing Jeremy can't cover at the best rate with the best service. Don't believe me? Then give him a call yourself at 480-515-5523 or find him on the web at jeremymueller.com. Are you like me and love a good fried chicken sandwich? Maybe a grilled chicken salad of some sort. How about those hot and fresh fries, all washed down with some fresh squeezed tea or a milkshake? Are you hungry yet? Then you need to go check out Bird Call, located at the corner of Scottsdale and Shea, for everything delicious, fresh, all natural, and locally sourced. Bird Call started with the mission to make natural food more accessible. Not only are they feeding us all natural food, but 1% of their sales goes to support local schools, charities, and organizations here in Scottsdale. You can see all the delicious details by visiting eatbirdcall.com or just driving to their location on Scottsdale and Shea. Oh, and did I mention they're open on Sundays? Unlike some other chicken places, you can get your chicken fix 7 days a week. Bird Call, your only choice when it comes to all natural and delicious chicken. Started in 1954, the Boys and Girls Club of Greater Scottsdale now has 9 area locations. It's a safe place for kids to attend camps, after-school activities, award-winning scholarships, and more. President and CEO Ivan Gilreath joins me at the table to talk about the benefits of the Boys and Girls Club, how we can support the kids in our community, and what's ahead. Ivan, thank you so much for joining me. You and I met a few months ago, and I got so excited. We met for like 30 minutes for a quick cup of coffee, but that meeting has really resonated with me in my heart since then. I've had the privilege of coming to take a tour with you at some of your, campuses here at Boys and Girls Club. But I want to start with you, Ivan. What got you involved in the Boys and Girls Club, and why is it an important piece of who you are?
Well, in order for me to tell you that story, I have to go back, way back.
Okay.
So we go back to Omaha, Nebraska, back in the 1960s. So back then it was just the Boys Club.
Okay.
And it was newly started in Omaha, the Boys Club, and I was a member of the Boys Clubs in Omaha. Okay. So at an early age, I was able to determine that, there was a safe place for me to go, a place where my mother could go out from a single-parent home. My mother had 5 kids. I was the youngest.
Wow.
And she had to work 2 jobs most of her life. So she had to have somewhere for me to go during the day. So I went to the Boys Club. And it was a safe environment, and I had really strong role models for me who could really help direct me when I didn't have a father to do so. So fast forward, I did that from age 8 until about age 13.
Okay.
And at age 13, everybody in my family must work at McDonald's.
Oh, okay.
Everybody, because everybody had to work at McDonald's because my mother couldn't pay the bills for 5 kids on her own. So everybody worked at McDonald's. So I was the last one to work at McDonald's, And for your first 3 or 4 years working there, we gave my mother our entire check because she needed to pay the bills. So I had to leave the boys club at age 13 and go work at McDonald's. So I did that until I got out of high school. And from the great nurturing that I got from the clubs, I went on from there to go to college and get a degree in marketing and get a master's in management.
Wow.
So all of this is from the foundation of the steady hand of the boys club in Omaha, the role models, the mentors, and everybody. So I went ahead and did that, got my MBA, and I worked 30 years in corporate. So during my 30 years working in corporate, I started a nonprofit myself.
Very nice.
It was called the Midwest Trailblazers, and it was focused on kids that grew up just like me, young boys, young girls, single-parent homes who loved basketball.
Okay.
So I sucked them in with basketball, and then as a result of that, I did mentoring. And I got so much gratification out of that every day when I did it. I would do my 10 hours at work at the job, which was a great job, and then I'd do 2 hours after that at the practice, and I was like, this is lighting up my life. And so
much more than those 10 hours earning a paycheck, right?
And it was great work, but it was just different.
Agreed. I understand that.
It was different. It was a gratifying feeling that you just don't get anywhere else. So I had told myself at some point when I'm done having to work corporate jobs because my kids are out of college and I don't have to worry about all that, one day I want to go back and run a nonprofit like the Boys and Girls Clubs or the Y because that's what I want to do as my final phase of my life. So I didn't know when, I didn't know where. But when I was about 52, it was starting to feel like it was when. And so I started inquiring about it, found out that the Boys and Girls Club that I had grown up in, that the CEO was retiring. And I was like, are you kidding me? And so
I love when the universe comes together and sends signs.
Yeah. So I found out he was retiring, and long story short, they hired me. And so I ran the Boys and Girls Clubs in Omaha, Nebraska for 10 years. And 18 months before I was leaving that job to retire to come to Arizona because my 2 kids live here and I have 3 grandsons here. So I was retiring because I needed to get in Arizona because my wife wanted to be around her grandkids. And I said, I get that.
Time to be a grandpa,
So I figured I would do something, but I had no idea what I would do. So once again, fate played. So when I start looking, the only job that comes up on the job site I look at is the Boys and Girls Clubs of Greater Scottsdale.
No way. Like it's just meant to be.
I had thrown away all my Boys and Girls Club shirts. I was like, I'm done with that. I've thrown them all away. There's no way I'll work with them down there. They've got people. And so I ended up calling down here. Once again, long story short, we told them about all the great things we were doing in Omaha, and they knew I was a club kid, and we decided that we would get together for a while.
I love that. So now here you are, round 2.
Yes,
Third
round
career,
2.
round 2, Boys and Girls Club.
Yes, absolutely.
When were girls added into the title?
Girls were added in the middle 90s.
Oh,
so
wow,
late. In the middle 90s, girls were added in. And quite frankly, it was, as you might expect, it was a big deal.
Yeah.
We had several chartered organizations around the country that they opted out because they didn't want it.
Really?
And it was only a few. It was only a few because there's 4,000 clubs around the country. So there's a bunch of them. And my understanding is this year we're going to be up to 5,000 clubhouses, not organizations, clubhouses. So some opted out because they didn't want girls. But the majority of the clubs, they embraced the girls and the girls came in. And in a lot of clubs around the country, and it was only boys clubs, girls were sneaking in anyway. So they were sneaking in anyway. And so they always had a few, but now it was illegal for them all to come in. And so now, if you really look at the overall movement, it's boys and girls clubs, but really girls are dominating what's going on in the clubs.
Damn right we are. I'm just saying.
We have a program called Youth of the Year, which is a character and leadership development program where young people get together and they write an essay telling their story on how the clubs changed their life. And then they get up and give a speech in front of 400 or 500 people of how the club changed their life. They also factor in grades and community service in that. And most of the organizations around the country have more girls who are winning that than boys. And so
makes me smile so big right now.
And so even for our organization, we've got our gala coming up on March 4th.
Okay.
March 3rd or March 4th, but it's one of those days. We have our gala coming up, and that's when all of our Youth of the Year candidates will get up there and tell their story. And I believe of our 6 candidates, we have 4 girls and 2 boys.
And when you say 6, is that just from here in the greater Scottsdale area?
Just in the greater Scottsdale area. You know, there's another organization here of the Valley. They have their own Youth of the Year competition. So what happens is, first of all, we have 9 locations that all are eligible to have a Youth of the Year in the competition. But some of our locations are just grade school kids, and some are out in Native American lands in Peach Springs, and they really don't have as many teens there. So we usually end up having 7 representatives. So
That's good.
So they have to win their club. 7 representatives that have won their club. So you have more people in the competition, but there's a winner at each club. So 7 winners at each club. Then those 7 compete against each other, and we have a winner of the organization. So we have the Youth of the Year of the Boys and Girls Clubs of Greater Scottsdale. So now you have that. It's a big deal.
It is.
You get scholarship money with that.
That's what I was going to ask. It comes with a reward.
Yes, it comes with scholarship money, but it's not over. Because then when you win Scottsdale, then you go on to compete for Boys and Girls Clubs Youth of the Year of the state of Arizona. So then you've got the Valley organization, you've got Prescott, Flagstaff, Tucson. There's like about 20 organizations around. So now you compete to be the Youth of the Year of the state of Arizona. And that's a very rigorous competition. Your speech must be good. Your community service must be good. Your grades must be good. Your interviewing must be good. It's a very rigorous
it's a whole
process.
Package deal.
Very rigorous. If you win that, more scholarship money.
Yeah.
More scholarship money. And then you go on to be in the regional Boys and Girls Club Youth of the Year competition, about 20 states.
Wow.
And once again, everybody who's doing those speeches sound like Barack Obama. They're all outstanding. So then if you win that, then you go on to compete against 4 other regions for Youth of the Year of the country. If you win that, you get $25,000 scholarship and a Toyota Corolla.
Wow. That's amazing.
And you become the ambassador of the Boys and Girls Clubs of America for a year.
What an honor.
It's a big deal, and what it really does is it shows the people the cream of the crop that come to the Boys and Girls Clubs and usually come from tough surroundings, and they've lifted themselves up out of these tough surroundings to now they're going to make a productive life for themselves.
All because they had adults in their lives to mentor there and just be there for them.
Yeah. Number one, you got to have a safe place. So that's the first thing. First thing about our clubs is they got to be safe. So when you come in there, you know, we've got proper locks. I mean, if there's nobody in a room, we'll lock the room. Nobody's in there so kids can't sneak in the corners.
Yep.
So got to have a safe place and you got to have a clean place. I tell my folks that work for the clubs, this should be the cleanest place all of our members go every day. So you got to have a safe place, a clean place, and then you got to have a loving adult.
Yeah.
You got to have a loving adult because not all of these kids come from loving environments.
Agreed.
Some do, but not all do. And what's better than to go into a place and this adult just is loving on you when you get there. I mean, I'm 63 years old now, and I can still remember going into the club and this guy, he would say, Ivan, every day, every day.
You can hear his voice now, it sounds like.
He would say it every day, and I know I was just one of many for him. But he made me feel like I was the one.
That was it.
I was the one. And so I tell my staff all the time, I said, you really don't know what these kids are thinking when they're interacting with you. And many of them will never thank you.
Yeah.
Many of them, they don't think to thank you. But I guarantee you, 20, 30, 40 years from now, they're going to be talking about you if you do what you should be doing every day. Do what you should be doing every day.
Ivan, you were talking about, and that, well, I'm going to finish up, but that goes in everything that you do in life. Be your best every day and do what you want to do. You talk about you are a member of the club. You're now working for the club. When I went and toured the clubs here in Scottsdale with you, most of the people that work there were members of the club when they were younger. What is it, do you think, about the Boys and Girls Club that really just keeps you there for life?
Yeah, and you have variations of that. You have me who left and came back.
Right.
And then you have some who never leave.
Yeah.
But I think at the end of it, what we all come back for is because we remember what it did for us and how we felt. And there's nothing better than being there looking at a young person where you literally see yourself.
Isn't that crazy?
You literally see yourself, and you know exactly what you need to be doing with that young person. And it isn't much.
Yeah.
It isn't much. It's just, loving them, making them feel important, spending time with them, and making them feel like they're the only person in the room. And that's how we all felt once upon a time.
Yeah.
And so many of us want to be involved in that. And I wanted to be involved in it. Mine was a little bit of gratification delayed, but I started my own nonprofit to get some of it, and then I came back.
That came from your time at Boys and Girls Club.
Because you just feel good when you can help someone like you, because there's so many of those young people who people ignore.
You all do so much. It's not just a place where people come after school or stuff like that. You all do camps. You all have tutoring programs. You all have mentorship programs. Talk a little bit about what the Boys and Girls Club here of Scottsdale offers to the kids in our community.
Yeah. Well, when they come in, once again, into that safe, clean environment, there's a variety of things we can do. We have art programs that are second to none. We have kids who do art that gets forwarded on to national art competitions, to where they'll win trips to San Diego with Boys and Girls Club of America to do their art. We have the STEM makerspace centers in all of our clubs, and it's the latest and greatest in STEM technology.
Listen, I got a tour of that room, and it is phenomenal.
Yes,
yes. Really cool, the stuff that y'all got in these rooms for these kids.
So we got 3 or 4 different types of 3D printers. We have glow forges, which are basically wood and plastic cutters. We got virtual reality. We've got drones. And that's just in our STEM room, our makerspace, which is really our hands-on area for kids to learn about STEM and possibly, get driven to have an interest in an area in STEM, because that's where a lot of the really great paying jobs are. But then you leave there, and then we have our Cox Innovation Centers, and those have a different type of technology. So you go in there, and they got the iPads and the Chromebooks and all of the other types of things. So now they're in there doing coding.
Right.
So they're doing coding exercises, and then in the STEM room, you got interactive STEM activity going on. So you have those things. You also have Power Hour, which is our every day after school, kids come in to get homework help. So we help the kids with the homework.
Y'all had tutoring on hand when I was there.
Yes. Tutoring and America Reads, where the Arizona State students come in to help our kids with their literacy, because if kids are behind reading by the 4th grade, chances are they'll never catch up. And they decide how many prisons to build by how many adults are reading below the reading level. And that all starts very young. So we're very involved in literacy to help that. And then we can't forget that you come to the club, all that stuff is fun in a different way. But we also have the healthy lifestyle programs where kids will play basketball and baseball and hockey and soccer and dodgeball. So you have all of that too.
And the day that I was there, Scottsdale Police was out there, and they were doing kickball with the kids to even form that relationship in the community. So it's not just about helping one another. Like, you're forming relationships with other organizations out to bring them together.
Yeah.
Another safe place to teach them that officers are here to help.
Yeah, me and Chief Walther, we talked about it when I got to town, and it was something similar that I had done in Omaha. I had pulled together the police and the clubs together after the Ferguson fiasco that happened probably 10 years ago now. I don't know how long, but it's been a while. But me and the chief got together in Omaha and decided to put some programming together. We got here, and me and Chief Walther did the same thing. We were like, we have to get more officers around our kids because it serves two purposes.
Yes.
One, our kids then don't believe, if they've heard that or not, that all officers are bad. No, not all of them. They're not all bad because these ones are really cool. And then officers who sometimes think when they're dealing with kids in poor communities are bad. We get that paradigm that we break down as well. So the reason we've always done it is get them to know each other better. They'll trust each other better. And then we also thought there might be one time when something was going on down on the street and the officer will come down there and he'll be like, Billy, what are you doing over here? Because he knows Billy now. He knows Billy. Billy, what are you doing over here? All right, Billy, head on home.
Yeah.
All right, okay, Mr. Officer. You know, everything in the world is about communication and relationships.
I want you to know because of that day, I called SPD and I got them involved in my kids' school to do the same thing because I, too, think it's so important that we understand this relationship and it's not, we hear so much negative stuff out there.
Yep.
I wanted them to understand that, like, these police officers are fantastic and they do so much and you can form a relationship with them, too. So because of spending that day with you, I got them involved at my kids' school as well.
Yeah, it's a very effective program and it's a win-win for everybody.
Yes. I want to take a short break. When we come back, I want to talk about some of the other things y'all are doing this year because I think there's a free camps going on. So let's talk about that. I'm going to take a short break. With over 20 years of experience in real estate, Sean Shackleton, the Shackleton Group, is ready for you. Sean is a well-respected, full-time agent that is always at the forefront of both market trends and market technology. Most importantly, she is a realtor who will listen and always put your needs first. It's no wonder Sean is named as one of America's top 100 real estate agents. So whether you're buying or selling or need a good neighbor, call Sean of the Shackleton Group at 480-734-7277 or find them on the web at theshackletongroup.com. I'm sitting here with Ivan Gilreath of the Boys and Girls Club here in the Valley. Ivan, there are so many things. I think I know I am one of those people that didn't know a lot about the Boys and Girls Club. I think you have this connotation or this misbelief about everything it really does and what it offers you. Like we just discussed last segment, we had the arts and crafts, the STEM, the organized sports, the tutoring. None of that I was aware of. You also really opened up your doors, when the pandemic happened and you had to acclimate to that. You offered free camps for a season. I hear that's coming back this year. Tell me a little bit more about that.
Well, in partnership with the governor, Governor Ducey, and he's no longer there, but he made sure this program was around again this year. So we had a program called Arizona on Track last summer, and it was basically free to anyone enrolled, and it was to a number of organizations. Literally hundreds of organizations had that. So the government covered the fee of everyone to come in, but the deal was in all of these programs, there had to be at least 1 hour of math, reading, or civics every day.
Love it.
For every one of your kids, because what you're dealing with, first of all, in the summer, you have summer learning loss already.
Yep.
So summer learning loss has been a thing forever.
Oh, since I was growing up, yeah.
And everybody's seen the charts of, kids who are poor and how summer learning loss impacts them versus kids who are not poor, who get to go to camps and everything all summer and their learning stays on a proper level. But summer learning loss has already been a problem. Now add on top of that pandemic learning loss. So you had 2 years of just devastating loss of learning for kids. So the government came in and said, we're going to help with that. We're going to help fund. Every kid gets to go. So not having money won't be a reason this year. It's going to be free for every kid. We're going to give you money to hire certified teachers.
Wow.
To come in, and for 1 hour a day, every kid has to do math, civics, and reading. So we did that last summer, and we had to gather the outcomes. There were certain things we had to gather those outcomes. And it was a lot of work last summer because it kind of happened late, right before summer, and then we had to get it all together, but we did. Now, this year they gave us plenty of notice. They said it's coming down the pike, and they told us way back in December.
Okay.
So it'll be much smoother. But the key thing people need to know is if you're already a member in good standing at the club, you got a better chance of getting in.
Good to know.
Because if you are not and you come around when we let everyone else in, there's a lot of people that got left out last year. So I would recommend people go to the club now. Sign up your kid. Let your kid start going to the club now because you'll be first in line when we put out the Arizona on Track is coming back.
That's good to know.
If you wait, you might miss out.
That's good to know. Listen, y'all go around to the schools and pick kids up and bring them to your club.
Yes.
At this point, I really can't think of any excuses that y'all don't have the availability, the determination to help kids. And like you said, like parents like yourself that just need somewhere, a safe place for their kids to go. There really isn't any excuses at this point.
No excuses
and
at all.
Y'all don't tolerate excuses either at your club.
No, we don't. But I will tell you, we've got buses that go to schools to get kids. We need more buses to go to more schools. There's certain schools we can't get to right now. And I understand the school district has a shortage of drivers as well. So if we could get more drivers and more buses, we could get even more kids in the club.
That makes me so happy. All right. Well, that goes into my next question. What do you need from the community? How can we continue to support the Boys and Girls Club? Because you do so much to help the kids, our next generation. What do you need from us? How can we continue to help?
Well, the obvious answer is that we need funding to do the things we do. So there's a couple of ways that parents can do that, especially the parents whose kids are going to come free this summer.
Yeah.
If they're going to come free this summer, maybe think about donating 1 month of what you would have given us to help us with our programs going into the fall next year. The other thing is we have special events going on all the time. We have our gala going on March 3rd. They can buy individual tickets. They can buy tables. They can do that.
Okay.
The other big thing right now that they can do right now, and it doesn't cost them a thing, tax credit.
Oh, yeah.
Tax credit right now, $800. We didn't do it in Nebraska, so I'm learning about it. $800.
Isn't that great and crazy?
It doesn't cost you a thing, so you can do that and put Boys and Girls Club of Greater Scottsdale, and you donate $800 to us, and it comes right off of your taxes. It's the easiest thing ever to do, so you can help us that way. And then finally, if you just want to just donate, you can donate. We need volunteers.
That was my next question, volunteers and stuff like that.
If someone wants to volunteer, we'll certainly talk to you about what you can do. We would sit down with you and ask you what you want to do. Because if I'm volunteering, I want to do something that I want to do. Our requirement is we have to background check you because we're a youth serving organization.
Fair.
And so we background check everyone who is going to have repeated involvement with our kids. So you could be a coach. You could be somebody who comes in and just reads to kids. Somebody who comes in and just plays with them in the game room. Somebody who may have like a technical background and wants to help them with their coding.
Okay.
Or maybe a STEM background wants to help them in the maker space.
Ample opportunities.
It depends on what your passion is, because I know when I volunteer, I want to do something I'm passionate about.
Right.
So for me, it was always around basketball. So I would come in and I would, clinic, coach, whatever, because that's what I like to do, and the kids who would do it with me like to do it. So we really would be pretty much open to anything that anyone wanted to do, as long as they go through the background check.
And that's how, it's like that for schools in general when you volunteer, so that's fair.
Yeah.
I learn so much from you every time, Ivan. I get so excited to be around you. When I took the tour, I got in my car and started crying happy tears. Like, oh my gosh, just so moved by the kids that were there, so incredibly moved by the people that you have working underneath you at those clubs. It was never a job for anyone that was there that day. It was what they were doing for fun. And the pride and sense of pride that they beam with talking about their kids in their club was like you said, it's what a parent does, And the kids to have a place like that is just, it's unspeakable, and it means a lot.
Yeah, and our staff who we have, they work so hard, and they don't get appreciated enough. But one of the things we did with our staff at the end of the year, so we gave them from the 23rd off until January 3rd for them to do several things. One is to re-energize because, you roll from one season to another, it can wear you down. So we gave them some time to re-energize. And then we wanted them to come in and deep clean the club. So now it's time to come in, deep clean the club, and get up your new winter boards and get down your fall boards and get ready. And then the third thing, which is as important as anything, is we all have safety trainings we have to do every year. Certain things on looking at, detecting people who might be grooming young kids or harassment or things like that. So all of our people train on that so they are the sharpest they can be around safety things. So we also allowed them to do all of that so all of our members feel safe every year in the club. So our people are our most important asset. And, we wish we could pay them all more, but, we're not a Fortune 100 company, but we try to pay them fair. And more than anything, we like to take care of them with giving them appropriate time off, the recognition that we can do, and just saying thank you to them every day.
And that means a lot. I know as someone who's been on the receiving end of something like that, a simple thank you goes a long way for that recognition. Ivan, before we leave, I want to ask you, I know you're fairly new to the area, but you have to have something. What is your favorite Scottsdale vibe?
Well, I don't know what a vibe is. So when I hear vibe,
I think you're a vibe. I think Boys and Girls Club is a vibe.
But I'm thinking music, a vibe or whatever. But me and my wife, being empty nesters, we really like to go out and eat.
I like it.
So one of my favorite vibes is around some of the really cool new restaurants you have here.
Do you have a favorite yet?
I don't have a favorite per se, but I tend to, Mastro's, City Center. I kind of really like it. I really like Ruth's Chris, the steakhouse. I really like, just
the ambiance and the steaks.
And the wine list is the most important thing to me.
All right, I got you.
So I tend to go to places that have better wine.
Okay.
Because I really love it. I love Cooper's Hawk.
Oh yeah, Cooper's Hawk is good.
Yes. So there's some good restaurant vibes around here. Okay. And the music vibe is okay.
Yeah.
Music vibe's okay.
We're about to have a lot of music vibes with the Waste Management opening coming and the Super Bowl coming. Like so many different kinds of music coming in, so maybe you can find something up your alley.
Well, you got Scottsdale Arts with Gerd, and they have some good stuff. Now, the Music Instrument Museum, I get confused. I don't know if that's Scottsdale or North Phoenix.
It is. It's MEM, yeah.
But they have great stuff up there.
Ooh.
And then
they have great concerts too.
And then I believe it's Scottsdale where they're going to be doing the Arizona Jazz Festival.
Yep.
In March?
Typically, somewhere around there, March, April time.
So I kind of like that music vibe too.
Okay. You're going to fit right in then.
Yeah.
Go check out everything that's going on. It's Boys and Girls Club, so bgcs.org. You can find all the locations here in Scottsdale. The kids, we've been saying this forever, the kids are our future. If we don't start now, especially everything they've been going through, who knows what the future will be like for them. So take the opportunity to support your community. Ivan, thank you so much for joining me at the table. I'm so excited to continue this relationship and seeing how I can go and help the Boys and Girls Club myself.
All righty. Thank you for having me.
We all want that perfect smile. So who better to call for all your dental needs than Dr. Rob DeVito at Arizona Center for Laser Dentistry. Dr. DeVito and his staff offer the best dental experience. Whether it's time for your routine cleaning, one-of-a-kind laser dental treatment, or teeth whitening, their same-day service saves you time and money. And as a mom of 2 little ones, trust me, this is exactly what I need. Give Dr. DeVito a call at 480-990-1905. You can also find him on the web at drdevito.com. There is lots going on for the calendar of events. The Street Eats Food Truck Festival is happening this Saturday and Sunday at Salt River Fields. Come and enjoy dozens of food trucks from around the valley, happening both days from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. Tickets start at $12. They are cheaper if you buy online, and kids 12 and under get in free. Food trucks, Salt River Fields is great. It's going to be a beautiful weekend. No reason not to go out there. Of course, the Barrett-Jackson Car Show is going on all week, so don't forget to go check that out and listen to Craig Jackson's interview on the podcast from last week, and you'll learn a thing or two before you go visit. Scottsdale Western Week starts this weekend as well, January 28th through February 5th. Events all week long, starting with the Museum of the West, taking a tour of the Parada del Sol events from the past, a Western-themed art walk on Thursday nights, because we all love the art walk in Old Town on Thursday nights, and of course the Parada del Sol parade to cap off the week on February 4th. You can click the link to all of these events in the description in this episode. In the meantime, Scottsdale, have a great week, keep vibing, and I'll see you around town.